The 1970s saw a boom in the rides industry as new technology became widely available, making rides smaller and more thrilling. In 1964, the Passat ride was first introduced. This ride would take a spinning disc with free-swinging rider seats attached and invert them by traveling over a guide pole. This type of ride would not last long due to its complexity. However, it would inspire two iconic rides that define the Midway today. These would be the Enterprise and the Explorer. We have covered the Enterprise extensively in other videos. The Explorer, though, was introduced by French company Reveron in 1980, taking inspiration from the Passat and the Enterprise. This ride would effectively combine the Enterprise with the movements found on a monster ride. Much like an Enterprise, the Explorer has 22-person rider vehicles. Unlike an Enterprise, these feature a more open design similar to what can be found on a Matterhorn. These vehicles feature simple lap bars that can effectively restrain two riders and do lock, unlike most Matterhorns. The ride starts with the sweep arms spinning up to near maximum speed, around 16 revolutions per minute. As this happens, the ride's center raises using a stacked system of jointed plates raised by a hydraulic system. This same system places the center of the rotating sweep arms at a slight angle. Once the ride is up to speed, this center begins to rotate in the opposite direction of the spinning sweeps. This creates a wave-like motion similar to what can be found on a monster ride. It has the effect of turning the ride into essentially a music express that can have its movement controlled. The wave-like motion causes the cars to swing out dramatically as the centripetal force keeps riders pinned into their seats. The ride can be transported on just one trailer in Europe and two trailers in the US. It can be set up in just 6 hours with 3 people. As far as I'm able to tell, Reveron only produced traveling versions of the ride, but a few traveling versions did end up getting set up at parks. The ride ceased production in 2001, with over 30 being built and being sold all over the world. Currently, there are around 10 examples still in operation. The majority of remaining examples operate on traveling fairs in Europe. A few examples are Caribbean Star, operated by German showman Schneider, Hyper, owned by French showman Quasar, and Superstar, owned by German showman Weiser. The Reveron Explorer ceased production in 2001, however several competitors have emerged to create similar rides. The most well-known of these is the ARM Quazar. Built by ARM UK, this ride is essentially a smaller version of the Explorer. First introduced in the mid-1980s, this ride features only 16 rider vehicles instead of 20, making for a capacity of 32 riders per cycle. Unlike the Explorer, it's possible for the center eccentric to rotate in the same direction of the sweeps, though this is generally not advisable. The Quasar has proven to be the most popular version of the ride in the US, as its small size allows for transportation on just one trailer in the US, where regulations on trailer sizes and weights are generally stricter. The Quasar appears to no longer be in production, but it can still be found traveling with many shows. Some examples include Quasar owned by Bates Bros Amusements of Ohio, Quasar owned by Butler Amusements of California, and Quasar owned by Swicca S Amusements out of Pennsylvania. The Hang 10, made by Italian manufacturer SDC, is a near-exact clone of the Explorer. The SDC version features smaller, more cramped rider vehicles that are generally not as well liked as the ones found on the Quasar or Explorer. These lap bars lock using a pin on the outside of the car, much like what is found on many Music Express rides. The Hang 10 is the same size as the Explorer and runs at about the same speed. The ride features roughly the same lifting system as the Explorer as well. The Hang 10 was the least popular version of this ride type, but a handful of them do still operate, such as the US East Coast-based Degler Attractions example. Whether you ride the Explorer, Hang 10, or Quasar, you're sure to find a ride with rapid and intense swinging that exceeds what can be found on most Matterhorns. The remaining examples of these rides continue to be favorites at their respective shows, and they'll likely continue to operate for some time. I personally would not be surprised if a new manufacturer picks up the design of this ride and starts producing a modern version, as these rides remain popular. That's all we have for the Explorer. As always, if we missed anything or got anything incorrect, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget that if you'd like to see the remaining episodes of Flat Ride Friday Season 2 without having to wait, you can become a channel member to start viewing them all right now. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.